points on the list. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a little, but I still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. But before I start this video, I have to say that everything everything I'm going to be talking about here, none of this is financial advice. This is pure speculation. I want to go over some things, and anything, any actionable stuff you could do, that's up to you. And I'm referring into the shareholder vote, but there's a lot of things going on with AMC right now. And if you actually look at the filings, it's pretty interesting. So I saw a bunch of different stuff from Form 4s to SC13s. I don't know if everybody's familiar with this, WAE, the Wanda Group. They were a big shareholder. They sold out, all of this stuff, but I have a couple of ideas, and I really want to talk about kind of the truth of this offering and what I think is actually happening. So let me even give you this first part right here. This will save you some time. You can watch. I'm going to explain this and explain how or why. I will show some of the filings and all of that. But my first initial theory is that there is a big short squeeze going on. And what I am actually suspecting is that some of the banks are helping out with these share offerings, or AMC stock is able to help out through this. Essentially, my logic is that these share offerings, again, when it's kind of back to back and all of that, it might be bailing out some of these short sellers. So I'm going to explain that more in depth in this video. That's one theory I have. And then the second thing, if you're Colt, I think you should probably do this. You might even be able to give me the proxy if you want. We can figure this out. But no, but I'm being serious with this. There is a shareholder vote coming up. So as long as you have held AMC before June 2nd, that is the cutoff date. But if you own the stock before then, you are entitled to vote. So now, after all these offerings that went down, July 29th, they're trying to do another 25 million shares. So we talked about this even with like UMC, if you guys remember that vote and all that. But essentially, there's some stuff you should vote for and should not. I am not going to vote in favor of adding more shares or more offerings for AMC, and we'll talk about this a little bit, but you should look into that, and I really strongly think a lot of people should not agree to that. And if you held before June 2nd, you actually could make a bigger difference, and that's where it ties into the Wanda Group. A lot of people sold out, and it really seems like when it comes down to AMC, a lot of power is actually within the people's hands. So I hope you guys do it. I'll show you some of the filings, all of that. They may give you free popcorn and all of this. I don't know if you guys remember last time, they even had people calling saying, hey, can we vote on behalf of you? This is going to be a big deal. So if you don't know how to vote and you exercise your right as a shareholder, you should probably start learning how to do that again, or you could give it to a proxy. There's a lot of other YouTubers. There's other people being really involved with this situation. But the point is, if you do nothing with your vote, it could pretty much end up voting against your best interest. So we got a lot to talk about. I want to go over all this. I got a different meaning. I've been wearing all the merch every single day, and I'm seeing someone now, this is my chiropractor. It gets deep. But I love y'all. I'm going to get here on the road, and we're going to talk about this. I'm going to explain some of these theories. I will show you some of the filings that I have, and we'll go from there. But I love all of you. God bless you. I hope you're ready. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend, and I hope All right, so I want to start off with the share offerings. I'm sorry to pollute the line of logic by telling you what I think. I just wanted to make it easier at first, but I want to talk about this whole getting bailed out thing, or bailing out the short sellers. So this is what I'm talking about, both of the share offerings. It was just kind of sketchy. There was the Mudrick Capital one. The CEO even said Mudrick helped him out in the beginning. That one, it wasn't that sketchy. What was sketchy for me, or how I interpret it, was what happened the next day, where there's all this confusion, like, okay, they postponed the share offering, and they didn't. Then Mudrick buys, a couple $100 million at 27, then sells out the next day. And then a couple days later, as the stock keeps going up, they offer another 11 million shares. So we're going to tie both of these together, but the key is the second offering. But what you learn from the first offering tells you a little bit about the scenario. So what I'm trying to say with it is that in the first offering to Mudrick, they were able to offer it, and this is the simple point, it is a private deal. So they are not buying shares on the open market. This is an agreement between the company and Mudrick, depending on the size and scope. I don't know if you need shareholder approval or they may have already had it, but essentially this is how you could sell shares to either funds or banks below the market price. So Mudrick had the ability to essentially, you could do an at the market offering, or sometimes they just agree to a certain price. So I'm not saying that the Mudrick offering was really sketchy, but now that's what brings up the logic for the next one. The next offering of the 11 million shares there, that is now at the market. And if you look at the at the market price on the filing, here it is, it's saying that it's $18. Now, there is the asterisk there. They are going to take the average price, so it is at the market. But the thing that kind of got me a little tinfoily was that they included Citibank now. So they said they're going to use Citibank, and then the other name on there, I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but you can see it there on the filing. But I went and I looked at all their other offerings. They have never included Citigroup in the last like 3 or 4 years, only JP Morgan. And then when I saw the initial $18 price, that kind of sketched me out a little bit. But the main point that got me thinking, this would be a way, essentially, if there was a big short squeeze and the stock went up super, super high, and now the brokerages need shares, or the banks, or if they have a client who's really getting clapped by it, or they have that tail counterparty risk, essentially, if AMC is able to issue shares and they have the agreement and approval to do so, they could make agreements with some of these banks, and they can now pretty much bail them out at a fraction. So essentially, let's say the offering goes through at an average price of $20 or $30 and the stock is at $60 the next day, instead of now doubling the loss of the bank if they get an agreement, or if Citi, I don't know, if someone bullies them, I don't know. Again, it's all speculation here, but this is one thing that got me thinking, because I'm like, wow, a lot of these share offerings are very, very sketch. Now, go to the filings still. Again, all of the AMC filings are just very, very, it's elaborate, or there's a lot going on with it. But there's also now the AMC CEO, he had a talk with, I believe, Trade Trades, another YouTube channel, and you can hear his talk. He explained Mudrick's role. Mudrick was kind of the lifesaver, gave him $100 million. That's what got them the first round of funding. That makes a lot of sense. He even says the next offering that they did was the 11 million shares from shareholder compensation. So instead of raising that 11 million shares, which was essentially entitled to the officers and these CEOs and all that, they're putting it into the company treasurer. But that allowed Citibank now to kind of get in there for either them or their clients, or we don't know who. Again, the difference was the first offering was a direct offering selling to an investor versus the open at the market offering. But again, we don't know who gets those shares, and you're not going to know what price of those for a while. But the CEO was pretty much saying that they're not getting the compensation. It's going to the treasury to help grow the company. But one thing that he kept saying, and one thing he was really, really into, was that he's like, we should do a lot more share offerings. They seem like they like it, in that they're trying to say it could help the company and all that. But that's what leads now to the next shareholder thing in a couple days, or really it's already passed now, but in a month you are going to have this opportunity to vote. So now this is where the voting gets really, really important now, because the CEO is even saying in that conversation, and think about it, he's speaking to YouTube, he's speaking to a lot of the retail investors. He said, we cannot do anything unless we get shareholder approval at this point, because now it seems they're tapped out again. I've still even been a little confused on that situation, but assuming they are all tapped out now, this brings up some points, and I really think they need everyone's approval. The power you have right now as a shareholder of AMC is very, very large. And now, why do I say that? Go to the filings. Wanda Entertainment, also known as WAE, on the filings. If you go look on February 1st, everybody had to convert their shares. All Class B had to be converted into Class A. So now the thing was, based on voting power, Class B, you literally are getting I think it's 3-to-1 voting. So you could vote 3 times as many times as a Class A share, but now they forced everybody to convert it to Class A. Class A, they made everything equivalent and fair, but now what ended up happening was Wanda owned like 30 to 40% of the company. And then, oh man, we getting photos. Someone taking a photo of me. Oh, they hit me with it. He just hit me with the thumbs up. Oh shit. All right, yeah, I thought it was one of you, Chad. You see how hyped I got? Oh man, hold on. See, y'all just getting me hyped. But point was, Wanda owned 30 to 40% even at the common stock level of Class A. But now with Class B, go read their 10K. It even says they outweighed a majority of all shareholders. But now this is the crazy news. They sold out. So they sold out at $15. Literally, they now own only 10,000 shares. So they went from having primary control to pretty much having no control at all. And now think about it, who bought that? It was probably retail. Mudrick had a lot. They sold out. So now a lot of the shareholder power is with you guys. Now on their 10K, I believe from as of March 2020 or 2021. So again, 3 months ago, I believe there was 1,500 shareholders that were on record. And I'm sure it's more now, but here's the point. They can now, if they are able to issue shares, that could slow down a short squeeze, or that could be used, again, like I'm saying, they can make private deals. The minute you get approval and the minute you're going on shares in some of these deals, you could do an arm's length OTC type of trade. They don't have to sell it at market price. So if Billy Wong is getting clapped right now and they have connections, they have enough, they could still make it where AMC can make a profit, but they could get bailed out at $20 a share instead of, I don't know, 100,000 a share. I'm just kidding. 100,000 would make AMC bigger than the whole entire stock market. Fun fact, market cap. Okay, but point is now they need shareholder approval. They're doing stuff to get people now with the popcorn, all that. They want people on board, but this is what I'm trying to tell you right now. Go and make your vote and do not vote for any additional shares. Now, that's what I'm going to do. Not a recommendation. I'm not a financial advisor. You could call this tinfoil, stupidity, all of it. Don't listen to me. I encourage you to go read the filings yourself and come to this conclusion. And I encourage really the rest of the community, if y'all can help me out with this, please do the research on this and see. But I am 90% sure at this point that most of the voting power is literally relying within all of the shareholders right now. And the only way they can really stop any of this or dilute it, they're going to need the approval. But now, if you guys are all educated enough to go do it, you can, or you could give it to a proxy. And this is the next thing. I wouldn't be surprised. And this is where I'm saying, if you register for something, or if somebody calls you, or if you do not make an actionable vote, what is end up going to happen? People are going to be able to literally come in and make your vote for you. That's usually how it works with any sort of voting with any of these companies. If your vote is not placed, it's going to be pretty much granted to somebody in the primary position. It's something you're implicitly agreeing. It's just like exercising an option. If it's in the money by expiration date and you do not sell out the option, it will exercise. You are implicitly agreeing to give you the shares at that price. Same thing with voting in one of these actions. Again, July 29th is the meeting. You could only vote if you owned AMC by 6/2, June 2nd. But now, if you don't make your vote, it will implicitly go to somebody who can vote in pretty much in your favor for whatever they want. So now, if they're able to get a majority of people to passively vote for more shares, then the dilution can continue. Otherwise, they can't do it all. So I do think you should vote and agree with most of the other one, the ratifying of the shareholders or the board members and then the lawyer group and all that. But the first proposal to add another 25 million shares, especially at these price levels, I would not say no, but you have to vote for that. Now, I don't know how it works. If someone wants to figure this out, I am willing to give my proxy to somebody who will do this, or I will be willing to do it myself. So if somebody could figure this out and we could find a way to designate and give proxy approval, you guys, again, at least for the cult, you guys know me. Some of you don't know me like that. You see the face guy. I get it. I understand. That's it. Take the information, do your thing. Some of y'all real culty. I get it. But if it's as simple as I just have to click a few buttons and we know what to vote for, and pretty much I would at least point the proxy towards not agreeing to the shares. And the main point is, with the shareholders on record, with a lot of big shareholders already selling out, I genuinely think the power is with the people right now. And this isn't now power with the people saying a name, calling you this, calling you that. It don't matter. Just literally learn how to exercise your own share vote. And right there could be the big difference between getting diluted or not. And it really could say a lot. Hold on, I didn't get this. But yeah, but like I was saying, it could really be the difference between, protecting the value or not, and seeing if, we get any more crazy stuff happening with this. But I think this is kind of the truth behind it, that the truth is the people own a lot of power right now. They need approval to do anything. And at the same time now, don't underestimate the ability. And I think they're learning from the last GameStop situation. They've been adding strike prices midway through. They've been doing all this different stuff. But now I think the next thing will be, if they're ever needed a bailout, you could just do a share offering, OTC, give whoever needs a bailout a fair price, where pretty much they could ghetto spread it and still get a decent amount of money at these share prices while bailing out people and preventing anything from going too crazy, especially if they don't want to, or if anybody's giving them pressure or anything like that. So that's kind of my theories with this. I think it's a little complex. I hope I ran you guys through it, but my main point of all of this that I'm saying, you need to exercise your vote. I would not let them do another shareholder offering. And the best thing is, you know, and if you want me to make a video, again, I'm not at my computer here, but I can show you all the other filings and everything like that. There's a lot of stuff in these filings. So that's why I'm saying, if you guys actually go over these filings and all that, and if any of you can help out, you know the situation, I think you guys could have a lot of information. But I genuinely think this is a rare opportunity when the companies went from bankruptcy to hype to all that, where I genuinely just think a lot of the power is held right now with people, and the only way it's going to get lost is if people don't know how to vote, or if there is no organization within this. So that's why I'm saying we need to find a proxy. I could be the proxy. I don't know what it is. I know I could be the proxy for at least some of you guys, but at the very least now, this is a very big deal, because it's a very rare instance where a lot of shares ever change hands so rapidly and then end up winding now into the power of the retail investor. So this is very, very key. I hope you guys spread this message. If you need any help, let me know. And again, if you guys could give me more information to this topic, I would love it. We could talk about it a little bit more. Again, still holding our shares for a while. I know a lot of people in the call have different plays. And if you've been seeing the covered call thing, they are limiting on even TD Ameritrade. They're going to start limiting some advanced strategies with it. It's because you could do a lot at this level if you know how the rules work and play it. And that's why I'm saying, learn how the voting games work. Learn how these filings operate. If we can educate the base right now, I think this could be pretty insane, and we can have a lot of power in the people, and you know, you don't have to trade it for some popcorn. So I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it wasn't too tinfoily for you, but I think we could learn something new, and I encourage and I hope it sparks a lot of interest to go look into some of this. And if I could learn something new at the end of this video, I would be impressed too, or I'd be excited, because I feel like a lot of people now in the retail investor can really contribute to this situation, and it gets crazy. So I love all of you. Watch list tomorrow. I will see you on there Monday for the stream, baby. So God bless y'all. Drop the thumbs up if you like it, and stay blessed, man. And I hope you guys remember leader with no title, okay? I don't know if you remember the Fitlo, and I hope you're actually listening. I hope you know you in control of where this car ends up, baby. That's you. That's your car. That's your life, okay? You get to control that. Whew, I forgot the other one. There's one more thing he said, but you guys remember. So I love you guys. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. Peace out.